Okay, good morning everyone. So today we're going to do some two-step equations. And so last week we spent 3 days working on one-step equations. So now we're going to be working on two-step equations. You'll notice a lot very similarities, and again we're just adding one step to it. So this is page 19 and 20 in your book. However, we're only going to get even some of page 19 today, and so we're definitely not going to get the whole thing done. So here is page 19. Again, they have the example up here. I am going to use some of this same terminology that they use, but I'm just going to jump into the example problem. So when we take a look at number one, the first thing we're going to do, just like last week, is we're going to draw a line down that equal sign and circle our variable. So that hasn't changed. My variable's on the left side, so that's the side I want to work on. So on that left side, now I have two different things. I have this positive 5 and I have the 2x. What we want to do is we want to always work with the number by itself first. So this 2 is attached to the x, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm going to use this 5 that's all by itself first. So just like last week, when I have a 5 all by itself, how do I get rid of it? Well, I'm going to subtract 5. The reason I know to subtract 5 is 5 minus 5 gives me 0. They cancel out, and that's what I want. So then I'm going to come over here to the other side and subtract 5. Anytime I have negative numbers, I'm always going to use my calculator. So negative 1 minus 5, enter, and I get negative 6. So everything I've done so far is the same as last week. Now I'm going to bring down this 2x. So last week we just brought down that x and that was our answer. Well, now I'm going to bring down that 2x. So there was my first step. Here's my second step, and again this will be very similar. I have 2 times x, so the opposite of multiplying by 2 is now to divide by 2. Come over here to the other side and divide by 2. So negative 6 divided by 2. Negative 6 divided by 2. Notice it turns it into a fraction. And there's my answer, negative 3. Negative 3. Bring down my equal sign. And the only thing I have left is my variable, x. So perfect. There's my answer. X equals negative 3. So again, a two-step equation. First step is either adding or subtracting, same thing we did last week. Second step, either multiplying or dividing, same thing we did last week. Okay, I'm going to do one more problem with you, so I'm going to do number 2 right underneath it. First step stays the same, draw that line, circle my variable. So now this negative 3 is attached to the b, so I want to leave that alone, and I want to get rid of this plus 1 first. So the opposite of plus 1, right underneath it, I'm going to write minus 1. Come over here to the other side, minus 1. So negative 8 minus 1. Negative 8 minus 1 gives me negative 9. Bring down my equal sign. And again, here's my only difference. Now I'm bringing down this entire negative 3b. So now this looks just like a one-step problem we did last week. The opposite of times negative 3 is going to be to divide by negative 3. They cancel out. The other side, divide by negative 3. So negative 9 divided by negative 3. Enter positive 3. So b equals 3. Okay, so for today, we're only doing these next 3 problems. So if you weren't in class today, these were the only problems we got to. And so make sure you guys get those problems done. And then tomorrow we'll start on number 6. So again, today we're only doing 3 through 5 now on your own.